CareCourt bill do that hasn't been done in the past?
It addresses what's happening on our streets and sidewalks, particularly with the most vexing issue, mental health. People that are out there, we see every single day. People with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, people with paranoia, most, let's be candid, self-medicating with drug or alcohol addictions. And we see this manifested in California like no other state. It's not unique to California. It's just worse here. Mm-hmm. And it's a vexing issue that we haven't been able to address ever since we dismantled our behavioral health system over half a century ago. Everybody's been talking about the good old days. We've done nothing about it measurably. CareCourt is the first demonstrable step to address the issue of what's happening on the streets.
A lot of people, as you know, fed up with the homeless crisis in California. As you mentioned, it's an issue from Los Angeles to San Francisco. Yeah. How effective do you think this is going to be?
Well, it comes with additional supports. I want to put this in perspective. As a former mayor, I don't think this, I know this, I lived it. As a former mayor of a county, the state of California was nowhere to be found on homeless policy. I never looked to criticize or complain to Governor Schwarzenegger when he was governor and I was mayor, or Governor Gray Davis when he was governor. Never even thought about it. The state of California had nothing to do with the issue. When I got here, there was no plan, no strategy, no accountability, nothing. Today, just 3.5 years later, $14.7 billion of new money. $3.5 billion specifically for board and care and mental health support. Money, unprecedented money to buy hotels and motels all up and down the state. Over 13,000 units we've procured in the last 2 years. And now new supports to address this issue that we haven't been able to address. And that is, what do you do with someone that doesn't want help, that's out there screaming and yelling to themselves, that may not have their clothes on, that may come in and out of the criminal justice system or the emergency room for years and years and years, and that's CareCourt. So we're stacking strategies and approaches, accountability, transparency for the taxpayer, for the individuals, for the cities and counties, and finally a plan and support coming from California and the state.
It starts in 7 counties. Hope is to get it across the state. Do you see this as a national model?
Well, I think it is. If we get it right. And that's why we're starting small. We have 58 counties, but we start with 7. Large counties, smaller counties, rural counties, larger, big urban counties. And we have real resources, one-time startup expenses. We have an implementation strategy that gives us time. We have a partner in the 3rd branch of government, and this is what makes this unique. The court system itself is embracing enthusiastically this approach, and it's simple. A referral. It could be a family member. It could be a first responder. Refer an individual. They're evaluated. Once they're evaluated, there's an actual care plan that's established. There's a public defender due process, but a court order to address the individual's needs. Nothing like this has ever existed in this state, and we don't know of any other model like this anywhere in the country.
This, comes with some opposition. I want to read you something from the Human Rights Watch. They say CareCourt isn't about care at all. They write, it plays on prejudices against people who are unhoused and living with mental health conditions to create a coercive system of court-ordered treatment when we know that involuntary treatment is ineffective and inhumane. What's your response?
Well, what's inhumane and ineffective is the status quo. How many people have died reading that same statement going back 30, 40, 50, 60 years? Where's the compassion in someone? We're stepping over on the streets and sidewalks, and we talk about the fact that, the good old days, we had a behavioral health system before Ronald Reagan dismantled it. What I say to those folks is, prove us wrong, don't assume us wrong. What I say to those folks, there were only 2 votes in opposition, bipartisan support in one of the most progressive legislatures in America. What I say to those folks is that we actually address every one of their considerations and concerns, notably this. They don't support conservatorships. They don't support substituted care. This is not substituted care. This is supportive care with the individual, a care plan, due process, a public defender and a supporter. There's housing components and service components. It's not coercive. It's not locked. It's not custodial. So every one of their fundamental grievances misses the mark in terms of this proposal. And we haven't even implemented, and they're already going to assume it's wrong. What's wrong has been their advocacy for 40, 50 years. That's painted the conditions that we're experiencing on the streets and sidewalks, because at the end of the day, talking about the way the world should be doesn't make it so. You got to actually go out and do the hard work. This is about doing the hard work.
Going out there doing the hard work, what do you say to business owners who are fed up and say not enough is being done out in these streets?
Well, I say look at that statement, rip it up, and now look at our proposal and support it. We are giving them hope, a new paradigm, not just a thinking of doing, action, not just passion, vision, plan, accountability, support. 3 branches of government, unprecedented, recognizing the paradigm, the problem, the scale, now with strategies and solution, and what we hope is proven results as we implement this over a 24-month period to every county in California.